welcome in when we all get in. We're gonna have some updates today. Some cosmic updates. Because it's important to stay up to date. Thought I had you on the wrong hand. I thought so. But welcome in when you all get in. Okay, well, you didn't want to pop on. That's hilarious. Alright. So yeah, welcome in whenever you all get in. The moon and Venus are next together today. They're together within the constellation of Libra, as well as Pisces being up too, so that's kind of interesting. But with Venus and the moon being so close and them both being in Libra, this is all about becoming harmonious, which, surprise, surprise, is why I've been talking about becoming harmonious and not worrying about duality anymore for like the past 2 months. I've been getting y'all ready for this awakening. It's going to be a lot harder for other people because it's going to require them to do a lot of the work that we've already gone over. A lot of people aren't able to do this though because of Lilith placements, because we still have their Lilith placements that are acting up. So you're going to have people, not only with the Lilith placements, but I think it was like 2 days ago, we had a ×7 solar flare. And then like tomorrow, we're having a ×9 solar flare, plus Lilith being all wacky-dacky, and then Pluto going direct. People are going to be pissed off. Let them be mad, because those people are not going to go forward. I hate to say it like that, but they were unable to purge it. I've already said about December 25th. And December 5th. No, yeah, it is December 25th. No, it's just December 15th, excuse me. It's the 15th. It's December 15th, that's the day. It's something about that moon. I forgot what moon it is. But I was getting told like a lot recently that December 15th is like the deadline for people to detox fully so they can move to the next stages. So you might start seeing people talk more about being harmonious, and people just not even consciously being aware of it. They're just kind of slooping in. That's because, as well as what I've just been getting a lot of downloads. I'm going to talk about all of them, but I was talking with my guides, and a lot of the readers are stuck in a matrix where they evolve a little bit slower than the rest. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but they aren't as consciously in tune with the newer plan of the universe, the newer energies that are coming in. And that's just with solar flares. A lot of the solar flares have been messing up a lot of people's crown chakras and third eyes because it's been so wishy-washy that a new layer of trust is being formed and being made. So a lot of messages that you may receive here coming up are going to be more related to harmony and combining, and more talks of shadows, more talk of shadow work, more talk of less of people in the past and more of the past in general. That's going to be coming up a lot with people, so be on the lookout for that. But we are just becoming a lot more harmonious, understanding that, you know, duality is just a 3D tool for an infinite possibility world. But that was what I really needed to get out, because this solar flare that we're gonna have is really gonna test people. I've not even just from the post that I made, but I've just been getting so many downloads of it. Like the energy has been so up and active and moving quicker and quicker, and a lot of people are going to be struggling to keep up. It could either relate to just an increase of work coming in, but it's the harvesting season basically. If you get the gist, a lot of people who did their work early are getting their harvest season early. And the shift of energy where people haven't been putting in the work that they have been needing to. And that comes down to you consciously knowing, like, hey, I should do this, but you're not doing it. You know what I mean? But not saying anyone is or isn't. But those people who haven't been consciously putting effort towards the thing that they're doing are going to wait a little bit longer for their gifts to come in, for their harvest to come in, because they haven't put in that extra work to become harmonious. And the harmony has less to do with wanting something on the external and more of your internal being aligned so that you can do the things that you're wanting to do externally. Um, so just watch out for tomorrow heavily. Get rest, a lot of rest. Take naps if you need, especially over the weekend. And ground yourself. Go out in nature a lot. For this weekend, because the downloads from the solar rays that you're going to be getting, light codes from the sun people are going to be coming down as well. So getting those codes, getting that grounding energy is going to be very helpful. Sorry, I took a spiritual bath. I got some herbs on my back still, and they itching me. They work, and they getting those weirdos off my back. Yeah, just as well as that, just being aware of like spiritually cleansing your area too around this time, because with all this ramped up energy, people know, and people are starting to see people for who they are, starting to see the actual power. Intimidation's going to be another big feeling, emotion that's going to be around a lot of people, which might lead to agitation as well. And the intimidation comes from the internal work, because the internals are being shown. It's time for the internal side of people, how people truly are, to come out, to really see. And it's interesting, because when you're aware of these things, when you're watching these things happen, you can kind of even see how people respond. People will contradict what they say, and you'll be aware of it. Barely pay attention to people, how they talk, what they're writing, because you'll see contradictions. You'll see, like, for instance, like, I understand this, but then when they go to explain what they're saying, they end up saying the exact opposite, or they end up doing the exact thing that they say that they're not doing within the same sentence, within the same action, which is going to be really kind of funny to witness, because the internals have to come out. It is time for healing, and if you cannot heal while it's internal, it will become external, which is the whole reason why warnings are going out and why I've been doing what I've been doing. It's the divine's really pushing people towards the actual power in them. And then again, you can look at all the shift, the planetary shifts, the moon cycles, the phases, what's going on in the astrals from like the beginning of this month till like January, like something. I think like it's like 27th or 26th of January. You can look at the time frame between there, and you'll just see all sorts of like the planets are all focusing on you. The main planets that are about the body, like Saturn, Jupiter, Venus, Moon, Neptune, are all gonna be fucking in crazy positions. Pluto's gonna be in Aquarius, and that's just gonna directly attack people and make them really be honest with who they are, especially for Pluto. Pluto is the planet of the underworld. Your shadows are really going to be shown out, which is why it's been so important again for harmony, because when these shifts happen, when all these things happen, if you are not acclimated to your shadow side is going to put you back in an old cycle, and that's what we don't want. And it's not very nice to hear messages like that when you are in the state of feeling like you're not doing what you need to do, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it needs to come out because the awareness needs to be spread. Super important stuff, but not many people talk about it, or when they do, it's usually like they don't talk about the whole spec. They go, oh, it's going to be good because it's interpersonal work and you're going to get your blessings. Well, or you're going to get your blessings if you survive, basically. Pluto in Aquarius is not fun, especially since it came out of Capricorn, out of retrograde from Capricorn, direct into Aquarius. Is crazy. If y'all know what, seriously, especially after the whole Saturn retrograde we went through, it's a lot of internal pressure that's being released. So expect emotions just to run high. Don't take it personally. It's not you. It's literally just them. It is their own demons coming out. It is their own lack of accountability being pushed out onto those who can take accountability, because it's again that mental thing where it's like, I can't handle it, so I'm going to put it all on you, because that's how they work. But they can't do that now, because if they project that out, it's just going to land back on them. Just how the planetary systems are going to work. As well as ties are going to be completely separate here soon as well, especially with these solar flares. There's a lot of permanent endings happening. So if you have been, and this has nothing to do with hearing or reading saying that someone from your past is near you, because that just implies in your subconscious that someone's watching you to cause that energy to be back in your life. And if you're still doing that, I advise you to stop, because that's what's holding you back. If you're going to watch readings, especially at higher vibrational points, it should just be about personal development and what you need to do, because going back to lower vibrational readings is going to match you right with that energy again. It doesn't matter if you're enjoying watching it or not, you are still consuming that energy. Understand and take responsibility for that, please. This is what I've always been trying to tell you on, and like get you all to get out of, because it shows you the cycles that you're getting into. It shows you the energy that's around that you can go to if you please, but showing you as well that going there is just unpleasurable. It reminds you of things that you've already escaped just to put you back into it. That's the whole reason why I talk about what I talk about. And it's the whole reason why I even said that most readers are stuck in this matrix where they can't get out of this karmic cycle. Mainly because they feel like they have to do it when they don't have to do it, but since they say they have to, they're just going to anyway. So that's just their poison that they're going to rock, even if, I guess they like it because they don't stop, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, but still it's important for you as someone on the healing journey to be aware of what energy reading is, and the fact that if you relate to that energy, you are becoming that energy. That's so important. That's why, like, people say watch what you listen to and watch what you watch on TV and whatnot, because it drags you to that energy. It puts you straight there. But I don't know. It's a whole thing, because like so many people are stuck on needing an external tool, or someone else to almost give them what their spirit needs to know. And there's nothing wrong with that, again, but it's really about building people to this lack of need of, like, no need of codependency anymore, to where you only need it if you need it, and rather than like consuming it 24/7. Just all about harmony, because it's like it's about a lot about time balance as well that's going on. There's just a lot of internals, like internal clocks, morals, boundary settings even. I don't know, it's very interesting. And if you've been going through these shifts of just like the interpersonal changes and consciousness shifts and energetic shifts and stuff, you'll feel it. It's more peaceful. You're away from that chaotic energy. It's floating away more and more. And that's how you're heading towards these goals of yours, these bigger dreams. But as that happens, you're going to have Lilith doing what Lilith does, which is just jealous envy, feminine energy. And you're going to have those around. You're going to have just the solar flare people acting up, just being aware of other people's actions and understanding that they're going through something and it's not you. Being very protective of the energy, and just a lot of rest right now is important. Hydration's important. Meditation at this time is very important. Especially because of this solar flare that we're having manifestations. If you have Modalite, it'd be a very good time to work with Modalite over the weekend. If you don't have it, I believe like Labradorite would work, or what is it? It's blue something. I forgot what it was. Blue topaz, I believe. I think it's blue topaz. Can't remember fully, but it might be blue topaz that you can work with over the weekend as well to help. Tiger's eye is going to help a lot as well. If you have Tiger's eye, just things to help you regain courage, regain strength, clarity, and as well as things for like luck and prosperity, because it's a very big time for manifestations to come in, especially for those that have been doing a lot of internal work, and really going down this path of seeing who you are, and being fully open to admitting everything that you've done, every truth, because it's a purging, and if you don't purge, the universe will. by the laws of Saturn, since man, you created that blockage, it will be destroyed. And when the floodgates are released, you better be ready. That's really all we have to say here for that. But being very aware of that. Um, I'm also getting something about like arts and crafts right now. There's just like a creativity boost as well that's happening. That could also be coming in as in the form of libido, just a sacral chakra energy where you're able to almost lift the phoenix energy up another level to, instead of learning how to fly, getting to the point where you're able to fly and get the energy from the sacral and solar plexus up and moving that energy up, which is why it's important to ground it this time. Barefoot grounding is really good to do it this time because of that as well. Um, I was gonna say something else. Nettle leaf, yeah, nettle leaf tea would be very good um, at this time as well. Nettle leaf is really good for setting boundaries, especially if you have issues saying yes. And what I mean by that is by saying yes to everything and not saying no. Nettle leaf tea or bathing in nettle leaf will really help you with that. I recommend like a nettle leaf and alfalfa spiritual bath if you want to. Nettle leaf would be really to help you set boundaries, and alfalfa is there for courage and strength. Also for a bit of protection and cutting cords and cleansing, things of that nature. But using those in a spiritual bath would really be beneficial at this time as well. Just because the new energy that you're going to be getting into, these new areas where you're going to be going, this new, I guess, stance that you're at, you're having all this energy of wanting to do more, wanting to do a lot more. There's just a lot of rambunctious energy that's wanting to come out, right? So being aware of that and not overspending yourself again, making sure that you have enough energy for yourself at this time, and moving forward as well as what this is really what these changes are warning people about, especially with Libra. It's bringing in this balance of like yourself, even the like your internal balance, not serving two masters of being stuck in between like your ego and your soul, because that just gets you even more lost than anything. It's understanding that it's one, understanding that it's a spectrum on a bipolar scale and not just yes or no. Um, is really what's going on, especially with the world. That's this next coming up is removing duality, because everyone should understand what duality is at this point. It's moving from that. It's a grade above, and a lot of people aren't comfortable removing themselves from duality because it protects their ego. It protects a false sense of self, to put it the best way possible, and it's like a boundary they don't want to remove. And a lot of people are going to be struggling with that. And you might see people stuck in old cycles, maybe even having same energies around them, and it's because they continuously stay in this duality energy, and it's because they themselves are in balance. So allow yourself to know that, and if you are getting people, clients or whoever are dealing with this imbalance, make them aware of it, tell them about it, because they need to know that these next steps, despite how they might believe, because a belief is just a thought you keep telling yourself to be true, they keep telling themselves that it is duality, that it is this way, when it's more. Even in the law of duality, it tells you that like there's that it's more than just that one way, that there's three ways, that there's two ways, and then there's the bigger picture. So it's waking people up to see what's really going on instead of just seeing like a war aspect, because the war aspect isn't doing anything much for the human evolution. It's just bringing what man created to the spiritual, and that's not what needs to happen. The spiritual is trying to bring what it's made to man, but it can't do that because man is stubborn. Always has been, always will be. That's like the best double-edged sword of being human, or having a human trait, is just being that way, is being stubborn, not allowing your mind to be changed. But it's bad because you end up boxing yourself into one way of being, and then it makes you afraid or scared or not able to move out of that box, keeping you stuck at that vibration, unable to go any further, though you might feel if you are not consciously shifting, if you aren't shifting how you think, how you feel, how you interact with things, you're not changing in vibration. You're staying the same. You might resonate with that vibration for a minute, but only while you're in that vibration. It's about maintaining that vibration without that external source being there. It's like what they say, if you can't smile, put a pencil in your mouth till you do smile. It's training yourself to do that until you don't need that tool anymore to understand. You just do. That's evolution. That's growth. That's learning. It seems like common sense, but a lot of people are struggling with that. And it's not even like a singular person's fault. It's just a whole mash of things. The matrix falling apart, that fucks with people's crown chakra and third eye, especially if they're not as awake as they deem and or as they want to be. Quoting both sides, because why not? But it's important to know that as well. um Damn, train of thought went away. But as well as understanding that the the ones that are thank you, the ones that are unable to change, there's nothing bad with it, but it's just to make them aware of it, not depress it, just to bring it up, because there are certain cycles that repeat, and you'll notice them too with like, what's a good, okay, I'm trying to find like a good way of explaining this. Hold on. Okay, so like a good way to describing this would be like, you and your friend have like a falling out of like an argument or whatever, but then like you go to like a new place, and that energy's around you still, where someone's screaming at someone else about like a similar issue, or they're going crazy about like a similar thing. It's like you're gonna see that mirror follow people, or either follow you, and that's a sign to let you know that there is something inside of you that's not healed yet. There's an energy that's yet to fully be released. It might be some sort of subconscious judgment. It might be some sort of conscious judgment, or lapse of judgment, even where you're not even judging yourself at it. But there's a awareness that's happening, just like a full on like reality check. I feel like for some people, even getting moral checks, because I'm just picking up a lot right now. Excuse me, because there's a lot of people who are just going to randomly switch, is what I'm getting. There's just a lot of people that are going to never been spiritual at all, and then out of nowhere are just like in it, and it's because of these shifts happening. And it's like it's a subconscious thing for some, it's a conscious thing for others. Just be very aware, because people are going to start becoming who they really are. I made a short a while ago about the masks falling off, and this is what I'm referring to, because a lot of people, especially in the spiritual scene, act as if they are spiritual, or act if they are something other than what they are, and that mask is going to fall off. That mask has to fall off, because it's time to be authentic with yourself. And it's very important to know that as well. And as well as not letting someone sway your, it's all about like you. This is like a personal evolution, where it's like you're rewriting yourself, basically. You're seeing like, if someone said something, if you're just taking it to be true because they said it and you trusted them at the time, or if it really is true for you, is what's going on. A full on understanding if you are listening to yourself, or if you're listening to someone else about yourself. Um, which is what I always talk about in here. I love it's really just about getting your own mind back, really. Just retrieving your soul. Not allowing the fear of someone else to stop you. Not allowing someone else's projection of who they think you are stop you from something. Arrogance is always going to be a thing that people have to deal with. You're just going to have to look at them as they are. If they wish to project arrogance, then they are arrogant. There's no need to be mean. Just let them remain that way. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. They're just not meant to be aware, or they're just not meant for it. Because if they were, they would have got it. It's this understanding of it. It's this flow. It's the ebb and flow of things. Really, it is. And it's one of those things where it's like you might even have to leave some people too as well, because of that, or just seeing a decrease of people around you in your area, or just a decrease of people, um, who, like, I don't know, like, it's so interesting because I'm picking it up and it's like fucking it's fucking with me because it's just coming in through multiple ways. I'm trying to get it down to one. I mean, it's hard. I mean, this could go from like people leaving, like you have a business and people start like moving away from the business is because those people are being removed for new people to come in. It's just a vibrational match. People are being put where they need to be put for this harvest season because it's time for people to reap what they've sown. And if they did not reap, or I mean, plant the right seeds for the harvest for where they're at, they're gonna have to go somewhere else. It's like it's that's what's going on. So if you are seeing like a decrease in like your business or numbers or whatever, it's just because people are not at your level. They are leaving because they have to go somewhere else until they're ready for you. And if you're getting an increase, it's just because more people are reaching your vibration. Maybe you got to a higher vibration, you're attracting more people, or you went to a higher vibration, you're losing some people. Regardless, there's going to be a new flow of energy in. So allow the Lilith energy, basically, because that's all that's going on right now is this Lilith energy fucking exposing itself. Like it can't stay where it's not welcome. The mask can't stay on anymore. People who are unable to embody the truth have to go somewhere until they can. It's fine. It's just like being held back a grade. Didn't learn the subject enough. You didn't learn these skills yet. You still need to do more practice with this, so that's okay. And it's not to say that these people's lives are going to go to hell and back, but they're going to be stuck in a cycle that isn't where they're wanting to be. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean they're going to go find a horrible karmic partner again. It just means that they're going to have an internal struggle that's going to pop on the external again, that they are going to either need to go through again and learn, or learn from a different path, or however, but it's going to be projected outward because that's just the laws of the universe. That's just how it works. If it's not dealt with, it will be exposed. And again, like even allowing that to be a learning moment. So even if you end up having slip up moments and moments where you're agitated or whatever, allow that agitation to exist. Like let it happen. It needs to happen. It needs to get out. Don't borrow that shit in. People tell you not to, oh, don't feel your negative emotions. Then what are you gonna do? Rot with that emotion inside of you? No, fuck that. I'm gonna let that emotion out. I don't care. It's not wanting to be in. It's showing itself and it's wanting to expose itself through like some sort of word or some sort of action. So allow it to, but allow it to be healthy. So if you are in a conversation and it starts to get heated, step back, internally step back, but allow yourself to express what you need to express without jumping the gun. You know what I mean? If you are dealing with like technical, because there's going to be technological issues with these solar flares as well. So if you're having like technical issues, allow yourself to just stay agitated at it, but don't sulk in it and bathe in it. Allow yourself to feel it and then be like, you know what? I felt it. I feel how this is making me a little bit agitated. It's cool. The reason I'm agitated is because it's not working the way that I intend it to work. So I have to be doing something wrong. So allow me to see what's going on. And um, if it's not like working at that point, it's just like problem solving. You know what I mean? Like be really easy and gentle with yourself because it's about to get ramped up again. And I know it hasn't been that long since the last crazy ramp up, but again, it's this collective consciousness. The more people become like, the more people that wake up, the more people that are becoming more conscious, the quicker this is able to go. That's why so many things are happening. Like it's not even just people talking about it. It's just a galactical event. It's a cosmic event that's happening. It's written in the stars. It's been this way forever. Even the Mayans knew about it. In fact, we're having the same stuff that happened like years ago. Like we're having the same like the solar flare that we're having. There hasn't been one as strong as this in like a few like a I don't know when the last one was. I think I don't know where I've seen it, but it's been a while since we've had like a strong solar flare like this, and it's been forever since we've had like the hurricane at the line that we've had as well. These signs are showing themselves up and repeating to show people what's about to happen. Basically, you know, we already know that we're in the midst of like the fall of Babylon, where the truth is being exposed about the Hollywood and all sorts of Diddy shit and yada yada yada. Just showing people more and more that the awareness is here and that the truth has to come out. So just being aware of those things, just being aware of them. Um, Speaking about that as well, I had a really, really weird dream. I'm gonna just say it. I don't really care. Keep your eyes on Jay Z. That's all I can say right now. Because I had a crazy dream that involved Jay Z, and I've been talking about Jay Z to like my friends for a minute about because I something's gonna happen between Jay Z, Rihanna, and Beyonce. There's gonna be something between them because of the fucking Diddy shit that's going on. So just watch out for Jay Z because something's about to happen. Hands up. That's all. I'm not, you know, prophet over here. Just saying what I gotta say. Regardless, truth is coming out. There's just a lot of shifts, so just be ready. And again, don't allow someone's lack to drag you down in any regard, whether that's a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, financial, materialistic, however. Don't allow these lacks to cause anyone to hold like well, I meant anyone by you all. Don't let that hold you back. Jesus Christ. As well as I guess be careful of tongue tied because I haven't been this tongue tied in fucking forever. There's just a lot of energy, and I think it's just because Libra and the fucking Venus and the Moon, because they're like up there. They're not even like I can look out my window and see them, and they're like that close together. And then I'm fucking Libra, so it's just there's just a lot of energy. Just you know what I mean. But allow yourself to just and because this energy is like to upgrade you. It's to set stronger boundaries. It's to set more like a better grasp almost even because it's the balance. So it's like whatever you felt is unbalanced is going to be balanced. If you've been having a hard time grasping information, you're going to be able to grasp it more. It's like just internal balance is happening, so be very aware of that. Super aware. um you might even need to pay attention to dreams. You might be having crazier dreams, and those crazier dreams, pay attention to them. They're not just crazy dreams, they are prophecies. They are going to other dimensions and seeing shit. We all know about this about dreams already, but being very aware of them now because a lot of unstable gifts are going to be stabilized. So if you have like some nights where you have really colorful dreams and other nights where you don't have dreams, expect an increase in more dreams. If you have um like issue with channeling or channeled writing, expect to do that more. These things are happening, these upgrades are happening, and it's a lot from the sun people. I don't know why the sun people are coming in so heavily. They very much are. So go out in the sun. Seriously, they want to give you these light codes. They want to give you these upgrades. Um, and it's something about the higher heart and the throat, as well as like the solar plexus and the sacral. But I feel like those the chakras are getting the biggest upgrades. So you might experience like stomach cramps, increase or decrease of hunger, dehydration, uh, like acid reflux is what I'm getting as well for some reason. That could be like a thing that someone might be going through. But just being aware of what region of the body is acting up the most because that's showing you where these next upgrades are going to go. You know what I mean? If you have like an increase of like sleeping issues, it's because your crown chakra is overactive. So do things to soothe your crown chakra. If you're looking almost too deep into things and getting a lot of anxiety, work on your third eye. A lot of people might say work on your root. I say work on your third eye because your root chakra would be more for external stability. I'm meaning for the third eye more of an internal stability where you're looking into things and the thought of looking at things are making you unstable rather than how things look making you unstable. See what I mean? Anyway, things like that. Just watching out for those and allowing your body to really show you what you need to do. Um, going out for walks, looking for uh I don't know. Just be on the look for new energy, really. Be open. There's like an opening of the arms I'm hearing. I don't know why I heard opening of the arms ceremony. I don't know if that is like a hug or something, I guess. But like opening of the arms, I guess being more accepting, being more receptive, and just opening up your arms as well to receive what you've been working for. Some of you might be struggling with like receiving what you fully want, either due to some sort of belief that you can't or some sort of fear, um, or like a misinterpretation of the energy, you know what I mean? But there's just a need to really open and receive at this time because you're receiving what you've been putting out. And you have nothing to really fear if you know what you've been working on. And especially for you all here, I know that for a damn fact that y'all got nothing to worry about. The only thing you might have to worry about is like the increase of energy causing you like maybe mania. You might be a little kooky for a few days, you might be agitated for a few days, but it's okay, just rest. Like that's really the only negative, I guess, if you really want to put a term on it, side of but regardless, it's just like being aware of how your energy is affecting people and understanding as well. This is like the biggest thing. Understanding at this time, people who are looking to agitate you, looking to fight you, looking to poke holes in you are just seeing how high your vibration is, and they know they can't stop where you're going, but the most they can do is poke holes in your shit to make it leak out and so you can't experience the full of it. So let those people do whatever the fuck they want because they're miserable and they got misery to handle because they wouldn't be doing that shit if they weren't miserable. They wouldn't be trying to drag you back down to a lower level or trying to say that you're not this or you're not that. You know what I mean? You're because it's this energy of just people who are just watching you to watch you, especially if they have like an online platform or a business or something. There's just like the fakes are going away, like they're being pushed away, they're gone because all they're doing, because first of all, if they're trying to do anything to you, it's not working because when it comes to you, you're at this point to where you internalize it and see what you could be doing better, or you just move on with your life and ignore it. You know what I mean? But there's no effect from an outside person coming at you at this time because of how stable you're becoming internally, especially with the Libra coming in and everything moving on, and then we're going into Scorpio season on like the 22nd, so being ready for that as well, and that's gonna be fun. But that's always fun going into Libra Scorpio. It's kind of interesting. Everything gets balanced to go in. But being ready for that, because some of you all might experience the endings that Scorpio is going to bring sooner. That's what I was talking about earlier. Thinking that this came through a lot cleaner now. But that's something that you might expect as well. You might have been seeing these endings happen for the past few weeks, and if you have, that's a huge indicator that you're going to get these big upgrades, these big blessings before Scorpio season even happens. So getting yourself ready to accept. I'm even hearing you might be doing something one last time, and it's not like you're going back to it because of like guilt tripping or something, but I feel like you're doing something in an area. Like, let's say I like using the baker example so much. Let's say you're a baker in like a neighborhood. You're no longer going to be in that neighborhood selling your baked goods. You're going to be going somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing it one last time in that energy to spread the last of what the divine needs you to spread in that area. You're completing this phase of why you were sat in this location for so long that you were. Because you have to spread your energy out. That's what the divine's trying to get you to do, is to share your light. And a lot of people during this time had to do a mix of both, where they came to share light in a certain area, but they had to sit and heal for a minute because they weren't able to share that light. And now you're able to share that light more, and now your mission's becoming quicker and moving on. So especially if you're seeing an increase of energy, an increase of just like rambunctious actions going around you, it's because you are like speeding up the process around your area. So important to get rest. Important to keep your mental clean too, because while this happens, you're also going to be receiving the projections that people send to you a lot more too. So you have to make sure that you're being aware of like if it's your thoughts or someone else's thoughts, because it's just so important, especially like it's something about this Lilith energy, man. I don't know what it is about this year's Lilith energy, but it's like the final hoorah. You know what I mean? And that's what it feels like. Is it's like this final hoorah, especially again if you have Lilith, um, and like I think it's the 11th house. It's like business and communications are what I'm hearing. I can't remember the houses right now, but it's like business, communications, friends, family, organizations, things of that nature that Lilith is like trying to just attack one last time. And it's because you've removed yourself from that energy for so long. It's almost like, you want to come back and hang with us? It's like, no, I don't. um especially if it's like you have a group of friends or you have like co-workers, or you co-run a business or whatever, you're gonna start seeing how people truly feel about you, which is again why you need to be stable inside. That's why there's been so much balancing. That's why there's been so much internal work done, because when people are going to be showing you their true colors and showing you how much they either like you or how much they don't like you, you're going to need to be who you are still and not be who they want you to be based off that reaction. You're gonna just have to be solid in it, because that solidity is, it's not to say, now here's the thing, this is the test that's interesting, because it's not the fact that if you fail this test you're gonna get held back, but if you fail this test, the thought of that energy coming up might ruin it. You know what I mean? It's not that it's going to happen because you're at these higher elevations, but it's going to just push you forward, like the divine. And it's nothing again, it's not that you've done anything wrong, it's not that you've been hanging around these people for a while. This is like you've been spaced away from people, and it's not like bad people, you know what I mean? Well, I can't say that either, because that's kind of rude. I'll catch myself on that one. Well, because it's not to say these people have done anything mean to you, but they don't have pure intentions, meaning like they're using you to some energetic degree, despite you knowing or not energy harvesting, but boosting their own energy off your name type shit, you know what I mean? Getting those people out, because the absence of you has shown them who they are, and that agitation of who they are is going to be projected onto you, because they realize they were just trying to mimic you the whole time, and it was little old you the whole time that made everything of theirs go so big. And without you they're nothing, so they'd rather just not have you so that they don't have to deal with that self-conscious block. So that agitation might come out on you, so don't let that happen. Don't worry if that does happen, especially if it's like a friend or a coworker or like a business partner or whatever. Don't allow that to affect you, because that's just going to show you how powerful you are and how you don't necessarily need their help. They were there to help you through a time where you needed help, and that was good, but they weren't getting their help from you as well. The equal give and take wasn't there. So to make things balanced, because the scale is imbalanced and their side is a lot lighter than yours because you've been carrying their weight, it's going to shift to where you're up and they're down, and when they meet you again, you're just going to have this like aura. It's this golden, like, it's because it's an inch. I don't know why I always get this for this collective. It's this genuine, like, golden mirror that's in front of you. And it's like, it's flat at the top, and then it's just a circle on the back. You know what I mean? It's like you took like an apple or an onion and cut like half of it, so it's flat here, but then the rest of it covers you, and it's like this gigantic golden mirror. And it's a two-way mirror, so you can see out and they can see in. But it's something where when people look at you, they see who they're supposed to be, and you see who they're supposed to be, and they know who you are, and you know who they are, but they don't know who they are, and you know who you are. That's what I'm getting. It's like that miscommunication that they can do it too is there, and that mirror's protecting you. The golden light's protecting you and shielding you from these from these other energies. They can't project onto you anymore. That's why whenever you even get a projection, it feels like it's on top of you instead of inside of you now. It feels like it's hitting you. It feels like the energy's hitting you on the face rather than coming from the inside. It's that weird, it's like, it's genuinely like you no longer resonate with certain frequencies of certain words anymore. They can't do anything to you. It's the breaking of these spells. It's genuinely like, it's so beautiful. So continue going down this path, because they like, it's going to amaze you. Especially if you, now I'm getting this heavily, if you do go through this projection where you have to deal with someone in person saying these things, there might be an ego that comes through. Now, this ego is coming through in a very interesting combo. It's defending you, but it's also putting your foot down very strong on people. So be very careful with it. What I'm hearing is like your nonchalantness, your I don't give a fuck attitude is going to pop out, be careful of that. That's to balance the scales, because that's the energy that they want to give you, is to make you feel like you're unimportant, but you don't have to make anyone feel that way. They get that from you because of their own from their own insecurities. So if that does come out when you do have to respond, if you do respond, even if you can't hold your tongue back, do your best to not relish in that energy, because you might accidentally stomp someone down into the ground, if you get what I mean, and make an enemy out of them. And that's not what we're here to do. If they want to make an enemy out of you without you doing anything to them, let them, but do not make them an enemy off of your actions. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying anyone will, but it's different when you're in the action. It's different when the energy's in your face. So it's just very important to get these out. So allow yourself to stand stable, and it is not, always respond from your heart. Always do. So if you do have to respond, allow yourself to be like, you know what, it's cool. It sucks that you feel like you don't need me, or it sucks to feel like you don't want me around anymore, but I'm just gonna let you know I feel the same way. You can literally just say, like, I just feel the same way, it's cool, it's whatever. And allow that nonchalantness to just be that protector. Don't go any further, and don't like hold back. Just be genuine with yourself. Even if you have to be like, it kind of sucks because I thought we were cool and whatever, just be honest with yourself. Release the emotion that you have to, because it's not your burden. You aren't the one wanting that opposition energy. You're the one wanting that connection. So allow yourself to just be honest with yourself. And if they don't want the connection after you express yourself, just say, if you don't want the connection, it's cool. Like, I'm not telling you that you have to. Just allow yourself to be honest, because that's who you are. And you being honest with yourself, regardless of how they react at the start, will help them further down the line. And that's what this whole process is about. This whole process of healing others through healing yourself. Being more comfortable to stand your ground when others stand their ground towards you, to allow them to heal from their own actions and you to heal from yours. It's that separation, but it's also a harmony. That's like this weird duality that we're learning how to mesh together, is letting things be balanced by almost being in balance. You know what I mean? Letting the opposites continue to be opposites, but loving them the same. So just being aware of that, because that's something that I am picking up heavily. Especially be careful of your animals. Your animals might be freaking out. This solar flare, because it's so, dude, like, we have the double moons already, and that's been fucking with the dogs and stuff. Be careful of the solar flare, because that might mess with the dogs too. Just take care of your animals. Take care of your animals. They're gonna be going crazy. I've been seeing nothing but animal videos. Like, so there's something going on with the animals. So be careful of that. Some of you might be meeting your familiars. If you've been looking for like a familiar or a soulmate from like an animal form, expect that to come through, as well as just animals representing signs, counting crows, seeing cats, seeing dogs, looking up the spiritual meanings for the breeds of dogs and cats when you see them in birds. All these things have meanings. They all have things meaning in the spiritual as well. So looking them up, and just even knowing what those dogs are used for, like, you seeing like a German Shepherd or something, that's like, oh, that's protection. That's like strength, that's courage. But it's also playfulness and joy, like comparing the animal to what they are and allowing that to give you the message as well, because there's a lot of getting closer to nature, basically, is how I'm hearing it. There's a lot of new natural occurrences happening. Animals might be coming up to you more. You might even be meeting, now this is that's interesting. Okay, thank you. You might even be meeting people who have animal names that relate to what you're going to be doing. Because that's funny, because I just heard you might meet a dog named Gypsy. You might meet a dog named Gypsy. And if you do meet a dog named Gypsy, that most likely means that you have a past life gypsy, or you are going to be a gypsy this life, or there's some sort of gypsy practice, palm reading, divination, whatever. What else? Esotericism, oracles, orb readings, however, doing those things that's like a calling. So be aware of those things. Of course, we know cardinals are signs of ancestors. I'm also getting blue jays as well. Blue jay could be significant of ancestors, things of that nature. Just be very aware of nature, because nature is going to be acting up so differently here coming up. So just be aware of that. And yeah, see, that's why I was laughing because I'm I'm a gypsy too. That's why I'm living in a fucking motel. We're just doing gypsy shit. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. Gypsy life is interesting, but getting aware of these things and stepping into the energy and really embodying who you're supposed to be and remembering that you are doing multiple things. You can do anything but not everything, but that doesn't mean you're stuck to one thing. You have a multitude, a plethora of options to go to. Your one skill can branch off to many. If you do art, let's say you paint, you can do like painting classes, like whether that's like abstract painting or however, or just like stress relief painting, making acts more spiritual or therapeutic for others as well. Like I'm hearing, I'm do you all do Pilates? Because I don't know why, but every time I get a message, I don't talk about it a lot, but I used to. But it's something about like Pilates classes or like Zumba or dancing. It's something about that that you want to. I mean, I kind of want to do Zumba, but it's something about that that's coming up that you're about to either embark on, or if you're already in that field of teaching like body movements and dancing and stuff of that nature, where it's going to be an increase because there's more people waking up and wanting to move their body. The soul is wanting to move more. So allow yourself to move, stretch, exercise, do these things. Um, Work with the lymphatic system. I'm getting this heavily because I've been hearing this a lot. Um, what is it? It's the left side that's the kidneys and this one that's the liver, I believe. If check your armpits. If you've been having like because I'm getting this. If you're having like body odor issues, check your armpits. If your armpits are puffy, if your left armpit is puffy, it is a kidney issue. If your right armpit is puffy, it is a liver issue. And what you need to do, I think, and that might be reversed. I don't think it is though. But check that and work on with your lymphatic system. So that's like tapping here, that's like rubbing up in here, that's tapping up here, underarms, rubbing your chest, getting the belly, and like the underleg, like the thigh, underneath the thigh, tapping those, getting the lymphatic system flowing. Goodness gracious, I cannot say that word, but you know what I mean. Getting into tapping your body to help blood pressure, the blood flow, removing like anemic, like not anemic, but removing acids, like cramps and stuff. If you're having cramps and those natures, massage with like a rolling pin on that area, and that helps detensify areas. If you have tensed up areas, doing that really that it relieves it. I did soccer for so long, and like my calves would always get fucked up. So I would always take a rolling pin, and we even brought like rolling pins to practice. And you would really straight up massage that muscle down, and it removes the acids and it makes the muscle relax. So if you are getting cramps, doing that as well, and getting massages, really loosening up the body, because there's a lot of energy that needs to leave and there's a lot of energy that needs to come. And even if you're just like that's I talk with my hands, so I'm always moving. You might need to talk with your hands more because even that gets the energy moving. That pushes it out because it sends the energy focal points to the palms, which is why they say always be active, because when you're running, you're moving literally all of your eyes. You're bobbing your head, you're moving your palm eyes, you're moving your knee eyes, you're moving the eyes on the bottom of your on the soles of your feet. Um, so moving your body, being more eccentric, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if someone calls you flamboyant or not. Who gives a fuck? Because it's really about releasing that energy and detoxifying the system. Um, and even like even if you're just doing stretches or whatever, but we're just doing that. Talking to yourself in the mirror would also help as well. Just like looking at yourself in the mirror and giving yourself a pep talk for like 5 minutes a day or something, or like staring into your eyes and looking into your soul to see what you really want to do. Don't do that if you're not comfortable, because that can fuck you up real bad. But be very careful with that. That's like an advanced shadow work thing that you really have to be careful with if you're uncomfortable. But if you are comfortable doing that, it's a very good shadow work technique that you can do. Because mirrors will only reflect the truth of what's going on. Mirror, mirror on the wall, show me the finest of them all. That bitch was not the finest of them all, so it didn't show them. You know what I mean? Because it's just the truth. The mirrors will always show you the truth. So even if you again, it's interesting because what you'll think that you see is the truth, and it gives you a chance to rewire your subconscious. So doing that for shadow work is was really helpful too, especially if you do have body images. But again, do it slowly. Don't jump into it because it will immediately work. I did that a lot when my spiritual journey happened. I would look at myself in the mirror a lot, and that shit fucked me up. But I became more accepting of how I looked because apparently I had issues with how I looked at the start, but that it really helps you get through that. So doing that helps as well. As well as moonstones. Moonstones would be really good. Moonstones would really be helpful at this time, especially because of what's going on. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was thinking of. The Lumeria crystals. Uh, the Lumerian crystals. Get some Lumerian crystals. Lumerian crystals would be really helpful too. If you don't have a Lumerian crystal, you can just look up an image of them, and look at the image, meditate on the image of a Lumerian crystal because they all have codes for you. Working with crystal skulls will also help you. It's just like allowing yourself to work more with the elements around you rather than having the elements around you define what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's the creator. You know, it's going into the sandbox basically. You're now in this energy to where you can start creating new things. You're able to create the energy that you're wanting to see because of this new found internal peace that's either found or developing. Regardless, you're in this new energy where you're creating now. You're back to the creator. You're back to yourself. You're back to the inner child. And now it's time to relearn those ropes because now that you can create, it's about being stable with yourself in what you are creating, not allowing someone to judge you and be like, oh, well, you changed. Well, first of all, we're supposed to change, so that's good. Thank you for telling me that we changed. But not allowing those projections of, oh, you switched up on me and yada, 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 all these things affect you because they weren't there with you through this process for a reason, and it for multiple reasons, but the main ones because God knew that they weren't supposed to be there, and it's your blessing. It's yours. Someone that always gives. It's time to receive. It's time for you to have it personally, which is why a lot of people have been in super isolation because you're a very big giver. I'm one too. So I understand. I've been in isolation forever because of that too. But it's understanding why. Because when you give, you actually receive more energy as well. But it's understanding that now you can't just give that energy away so much. You have to spend more time giving to yourself and creating your things so that when you create your things, other people can then come in and you can help others as well. It's really about building your foundation because you've helped so many other people build their foundation. It's like it's time for you to get your reward. But it's like when you get your reward, you're always so really ready to help someone else. But it's beautiful. Um, so it's very important to know this stuff. It's very important to just believe in yourself. And yeah, I am a lunatic. The moon controls a lot of what I do. We're like, what, 70% of water? Of course I'm a lunatic. Welcome. I love words, dude. I love words. Oh my god. But yeah, I love. Oh my god. I don't know. ADHD. Give me a second. I love my life, dude. Sorry. There's a lot of energy going on, and I'm trying to hold it back because if I don't, I'm gonna be all over the place. And y'all know how I am on the moons. Y'all already know. I don't even have to get started on that shit. Y'all remember the sauna days when the moons would go crazy. It's like a revival of the old self. I don't know. It's you're collecting all the positives from all different timelines basically. There's like things from the past of your past versions of yourself that weren't bad that the divine needs you to go back to. So you're going back and collecting those, and then it's like you're collecting things that you've been learning recently. It's very beautiful. So if you do feel like jumbled up or misaligned or feeling like you're making a mistake, it's basically because you're cleaning out your wardrobe. You're looking at all the outfits that you used to wear and seeing like what you can put now. Like what can I wear now? Is there anything from the past that I can use? Because it's not, it's very beautiful because it's a balancing. It's really seeing the truth in it, seeing like how there were things in the past that were good that you are still wanting to have, and it's not because you missed them, but because it was aligned with you, but it was just in the wrong area, or it was the wrong person giving that energy. You know what I mean? It was the wrong flesh, I should say. It's not necessarily the person's fault, but it's the wrong spirit. That's a better way of saying it. Thank you. But those things of that nature where you're just kind of thinking back to, yeah, this was a fun time, I actually did really enjoy these things, and it's showing you what you actually want to do, and showing you like the people from the past, how those things were like just the circumstances of those spirits, how they weren't the ones for that. They might have led you to locations that matched your vibration. No, you're good. But it it's showing you like, I know what I'm trying to say, I just can't say it. I don't know why. And I think it's because y'all get it, and I'm just one of those Libras that love to talk. But yeah, it's just showing you that you were at the right point at some point, but it was the spirits around you that weren't it. You were because like for a lot of the collective, and I'll always stand on this point because I've seen it, I've witnessed it, I've even gone through it. Like it's the truth of the matter, because a lot of the past cycle that you left from had the gold that you were looking for in it, but it was just the wrong spirits. It was the wrong energetic match. And that's fine. And that's really what it come down to really healing from, is understanding that it wasn't you and it wasn't them. You two were just almost like the energy was just too different. It was, you were too compliant and they were too arrogant, or opposites, or vice versa, or however it was for you. You were the over and they were the under, basically. You know what I mean? And it, again, it's not the flesh's fault, it's the spirit's fault of not being as adept, as being as matured, as being divined as much. So it's just allowing, it was, I don't know, it's so beautiful though. So I know y'all get what I'm saying, but it's just such a beautiful energy to just talk about and embody, because it shows you who you are. It shows you that there really is nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with anyone. We're all just doing our own thing, and a mismatch happens. It just shows, it just like, it's so funny. But I'm gonna drop it because if I don't, I'm gonna talk in circles for like 7 hours. But you're receiving those blessings again. You're going to start seeing those things happen. Some of you might be doing these things solo. Some of you might be meeting a soul tribe and doing it. Regardless, you know what's about to happen though, because it's this energy that's coming to you of your manifestation. So if you have been manifesting a soul tribe and at the same time wanting to do things on yourself, you're going to be getting the best of both worlds. It's genuinely the balance. It's what you've been wanting forever. And it's not even the fact that you're doing all these things to receive these blessings. You're doing these things because you want to relieve yourself of this pain. The trauma no longer suits you. It's what you want. You know what I mean? And you're receiving what you want. And it's acknowledging that. It's sitting back and seeing everything that you've manifested, and seeing the states of mind that you were in when you manifested, and seeing like the missteps you took. It's the mastering of manifestation, and that's again like a very beautiful thing, because that's what we're here to learn how to do, is to master our own energy, to master what we create. And that's just what I'm seeing, especially coming into 2025, 2026, the year of the snake, a bunch of healing energy coming in. And especially next year with the Anubis flying by Earth, the closest it's ever been towards Earth. So again, that's another thing where you're gonna be just a lot of transitions happening. Y'all have to understand, you got to get ready. A lot of the energy that you're feeling now is not even going to be used up by the end of this year or the end of next year. A lot of this energy is supplying a lot of people for the next 4 to 5 years because of the internal work. Because you need to understand, when you work through trauma, you're not just working through like a 6 month, 9 month, 2-3 year period. You're working through decades, even eons of trauma. So you have to understand that when that energy leaves, you're receiving energy from all the way back then that was supposed to be given to your great god dang ancestors, coming straight to you. So understand that all this energy is coming. That's why it's taking so long, because you're getting every bit of things that you've broke down, and new things are coming all the way back from there, all the way to now. And the body has to acclimate it, and the body also has to see what energy from the past doesn't relate to who you are now, or relate to the lessons that are going to be learned now. So it's getting new energy, constantly purging, getting new energy, constantly purging, that's been going on. So getting a lot of rest is important. Agitation, all these things, it's just because you're literally getting so much energy, and some of it's just kind of not needed. It's like energy from old lessons. Like, I've already learned that lesson, so why is that still here? Oh yeah, true. Let me, remove that from you and bring something new in. Okay, well, I need some of this and all of that. It's so interesting, but being aware of that, and you might even be aware of it too. Like, one day you'll see like an old cycle pop up, and the next day it disappears, and then something new pops up to like replace it. It's that what's going on. It's showing you that you've already learned a lot of these lessons, and sometimes the energy kind of pops in to just see, like, have you learned this lesson? If I were to mess something up, are you able to, work through it, or are you still going to have the same reaction? Do you even need me around anymore? And it's not to get rid of the energy, but it's to get rid of the lesson and obtain the blessing, obtain the knowledge, the wisdom of it. So being aware, getting ready for that as well. But going in the sun will really help you. Sweating, drinking water, detoxing the body, really do so. Taking cold baths are gonna help as well. That helps a lot with internalizing the body, balancing the internals of the body and stuff. So it's really just a period of rest, and it's just really is like just resting for this month. It's all about healing, and a lot of people have done so much healing that, because October is the feminine month. It's really like giving back to you emotionally, giving back to your feelings, giving back to your heart space. So paying attention to your heart space, paying attention to how you are, letting emotions out. I have cried like more than I have in the past 3 years in one day today. So expect purges to happen, even if you mean, and it's not bad or anything. It really is like a helpful detox thing, but it might even just be crying of understanding. Like, the wisdom that you might be getting might just be so blissful that it sends it out. But it's because it's getting you more sensitive. It's showing you who you are again. It's allowing you to see who you are without someone else's opinion of you or someone else's words over you. You see who you are, who you wanted to be, who your soul signed up to be from the start till now. It's showing you everything that you've desired. So being aware of that as well. I'm also just getting like hobby switch up. Like, you could have like a career change coming up as well. That just to balance something out. A part of your career might just be dying or falling off for a new part to be coming up as well. So that could be a transition that you could be in feeling. And this could even be like getting hired to a new job, but the new job kind of starting off slow, or just like getting a promotion, but the promotion takes a while for it to like click in or something. Again, just like being aware of these things, these stalling moments are almost to show you where you're heading and allowing you to acclimate to that energy and rest with it. Um, but that's mainly what I'm getting. There's not really. I'm getting like a green light. So getting like green lights, just like being aware of green lights, being aware of Nibiru, um, being aware of just moving forward, really, because I am getting a green light, and I'm also getting don't stop. Like, don't stop questioning things. Don't stop being curious. Don't stop. And it's like, I don't. I'm feeling it like right here, which is interesting. I haven't felt much in this area in a while, but it's really about. It is a heart chakra thing. It's like a heart and throat chakra. It's speaking more authentically, being more authentic. It's really just, it's beautiful. I don't know. Because it's the fear of being authentic that's shattering. That's what's going on. Thank you. Well, I kind of already knew that, but I just wanted to get it out. But it's the fear of being authentic that's leaving. It's the people that need to leave you're finally letting go of, because it was some sort of subconscious grasp of, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do these things without this person, or this person did so much for me, how can I do XYZ? It's really just allowing yourself to know that there are no bad feelings unless someone creates them first. And if you don't create them, it's not your problem. So it's stepping into that full like power, and it takes a while. It's the healing journey that gets you back to this energy, because and this is the important part about the healing journey. If you do not heal, if you're not doing the healing work, and then you jump to that, you'll see the difference. You'll see the lack of humility in that person. You'll see the lack of that person's be able of being like humble. They will be more arrogant, more demanding of what they want, rather than just more accepting. And it's not saying that you don't need to be demanding what you want, but it's more of you demand what you want in the sense of you've done the work and you know, rather than someone who's just upset and feels like they deserve. It's working through that upset energy and receiving the blessings that you want without having the extra external backlash. You know what I mean? The most backlash you'd get are maybe like some frowny faces. You know what I mean? So just being aware of those things and really stepping up into yourself, because I feel like the shackles are gone. Like I'm just getting that as well. Like there's something about like your angels had shackles on them because you weren't allowing them to move forward and do certain things, like not allowing them like, oh, I don't want to lose this, or I don't want to say this, or I don't want to move on and do that. It's something about you subconsciously holding back your angels from moving you forward, or you know, your ancestors or however, because they accept free will so much and they allow you to guide your life, and they're not going to sit there and like force you to do anything that you don't want. So it's like the shackles from your angels are removing themselves, like they're gone because you're removing them. You're removing this survivor's guilt almost. You might even be suffering from survivor's guilt. I know I was for a while, trust me. But it's something about like survivor's guilt, where like you've gone through so much and you know other people deserve stuff, and it's like I want you to have these blessings too, but you did the work and they didn't, so don't have that survivor's guilt. What you're getting is for you and you deserve it. And that doesn't mean that you're never going to be able to share it with anyone, but it's saying that the ones you're wanting to share it with aren't going to value it as much as you would want them to, and you're going to feel it, and then that's going to ruin, not ruin, but it's going to taint or smudge your reaction to your blessings, because it's not going to have the full energy that you were expecting. So allowing yourself to really thrive in what you want, and not again just like, because survivor's guilt's a real thing. Like it's a struggle, because you make it through something that's so tough, and you know other people can, but you see them like stumbling over pebbles, what you would consider pebbles, you know what I mean? And it it puts this like guilt, like fuck, like I want to help you because you can do that too. And that's not wrong. Let me tell you, this is a good thing. It's a double-edged sword, but it's a good thing because it shows you everything's a double-edged sword. Let me get that clear. But it shows you how compassionate you are, how actually deserving you are of it. The fact that you're willing to drop everything and help someone proves enough that you deserve that blessing. Proves enough that you deserve what you need. But you need to understand that that hurts you because that draws you to their energy, that puts you in their state. And that doesn't mean not to help them, but that means to give what you can and not to overgive. Allow the divine to give you the wisdom or the words to say to them, and then allow that to work and allow yourself to go back to what you need to do. Because this is that overgiving. That's that overstanding, almost a too much of an overstanding, if you know what I mean, of how connected we are and how everyone deserves the same thing. It's like, yes, but everyone has their own lessons to learn, and some people aren't getting their blessings due to a factor of being ungrateful, or a factor of not being accepting, or just some sort of factor. We don't really know what it is for certain, but it's something on the internal that's not allowing a gratification feeling, a feeling of deservance, a feeling of like they are able to, that stops that. And that's the energy that you remove yourself from, so that you can move forward, so that you can receive that's what you want. And those are the things that are breaking down right now. But regardless, there's just so much going on with the energy. There's a lot of I'm hearing get out of jail free card. I've been hearing that for a while too, which is interesting. But I haven't felt to talk about it till now. There could be someone coming to you because they're at like a split point. Because a lot of people, and a lot of people in this collective, and a lot of people that I've even met in general, they usually are the last one you meet before shit hits the fan. You know what I mean? Like, you are the one that's like, hey, if you meet them, they're the one that's actually gonna give you the advice that you need, and they're gonna help you. And if you fuck up, you fuck up with them. That might be happening for some of you, and it's not going to be like a big extreme oh my goodness thing again. It might just be someone coming to you and asking you like advice on how to move through something, or have you ever gone through something like this, or I need advice for something, like something small, because the divine just wants, again, you to spread your energy in the area that you're at to this final bit, removing those final, checking off the blocks, you know what I mean? Because when you're in certain areas for an extended period of time, there are energies that attract themselves to you to heal from you. um whether they heal from you or not is up to them, but as long as you do your job, it doesn't necessarily matter, you know. So that could be happening as well, where you're just meeting people or going to meet people, or even if you don't directly meet these people, it's something about you impacting the area in that way. Maybe you're out in the park and you're recording a video and people walk around and see that, and that's what you're supposed to be doing. Or maybe you go to like an art show or something, or you do a performance, and that performance is a healing performance, and it allows people to relieve and feel blessed and all those things. It's something about, I'm just hearing a big bang and a get out of jail free card, and I don't feel like the get out of jail free cards towards you all. I feel like that's towards someone who's about to get some sort of like karma that they're not wanting, and it's not that they've done anything bad. It's the fact that they were unable or unaware, or just don't know how to get over a hurdle that they're at. And it's like, I just want help with this. I don't know what to do. Maybe they prayed for an answer. Maybe they subconsciously manifested you. Doesn't matter. There's an individual that may be coming towards you that needs that type of help. And just give them your honest advice. Even if you aren't for certain, just allow the divine to enter you. It's something about the person when they come towards you. You're going to see something in their eye, like a sparkle or something, that's going to allow you to just know, like, hey, there's something going on with this person. Let me go over here and help real quick. You know what I mean? And it's to it's like, again, to like revitalize in your subconscious your character and who you are, so that you're more comfortable, and as well as just sharing your love in general. So being aware of that, and the get at, again, like, it just feels like, I don't know, I just hear one, it's like one more miracle, like one last time. I'm just hearing one more, like there's like a one more thing, like just one more time, but it's not like you're asking for it. It's like the universe is just giving it to you. It's not like you were like trying to manifest something in. This is just feels like something's going to occur. Maybe it might have been like a manifestation you made at the beginning of your healing journey as well, that you might have forgot about, hey, I want to have like a redo of this situation, not with that same spirit, that was in that person, but like a same like occurrence. uh, what do you mean by that? Like, awake and you see a moon, a wave move? Do you mean like just like staring off into space and seeing that, or like awake in a dream type thing? Like, what do you mean by that? And I can answer that. That actually brings up a very good point too. So thank you for asking that question. Because with the Matrix falling apart, you might see like TV static everywhere, and that's just showing you the electromagnetic field that's going on. I've seen like that stuff since I was a child. So I've always been able to see like these tiny little moving little dots everywhere, and that's just the fucking hologram of the Matrix. Like, that's just showing you that that object is constantly moving. It's showing you how conscious you are. So it could just be, you might be seeing waves. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's a consciousness thing. You're seeing the act how things are moving. You're actually seeing that things aren't solid because nothing's solid. Remember, everything's a vibration. Everything's moving. No matter how the faster something moves, this is like listen. The faster something moves, the more solid it is. You know what I mean? Uh, Well, you know what? I just got myself a personal confirmation. I'm sorry, I had to look at that question for a weird thing. I haven't talked to my friend in forever. One of my friends in forever. I call everyone my friend. Um, but I haven't talked to him in like months. And then he messages me just now asking me about a stomach issue he's had for 3 days. Heed my warning. Thank you, Divine, for proving that to me. So now I know what I'm doing. That might have been a message for me. I don't know, but just be aware. It might happen. I guess this is my get out of jail free card for my friend. I guess I gotta go do that here soon. But shit. But anyway, that's I love when that happens because it really like clicks me back into like it's a fun game of reality. But yeah, what you're experiencing is your heightened consciousness. You're able to actually see what's going on. Um, the slower things move, the more liquid they are. The faster they move, the more solid they are. Yeah. So I had a similar thing to that. I would see letters and numbers all the time, like bright red letters and numbers all the time. I would see that through like people's thoughts. Like I could see people's thoughts like that. I would look around and I would see like the energy of areas. Like it would spell out like this area is good, bad, whatever. That I don't know it's one of the clairs, but it's one of the oh my I don't know what it's called. Excuse me. I don't know the term for it, but I know what you're experiencing, and it's a spiritual gift where you're actually able to see the energy of things. You're able to see attachments and entities on things, on people without needing to. And you can't really just say it's psychic or medium because like that's just such a broad term. There's an actual like clair for it. But you're literally seeing like the energy of like people's footprint, basically their spiritual footprint on things. When you see shadows coming off of trees, that is the detoxification that the tree is doing. That is that tree has had a lot of negative energy, or as we would call it, carbon dioxide, and it's transmuting that. It's a transmutable tree. You might even need to go over to those trees and talk to those trees and allow those trees to alleviate those pains, because it's showing that you have a stronger connection with Gaia. You basically, your earth cord with Gaia is a lot stronger. You're a lot more connected to nature. So being able to talk to nature, being able to talk to the elements, and healing them as well. Because just because a tree doesn't talk to you doesn't mean it doesn't need healing. That's why you go to trees and you talk to them and you hug them and you place your left hand on them, so you can heal from them. You can pull from them, and then you put your right hand on them to give them. You know what I mean? Okay, so be careful of those. Again, like pay attention to how the energy makes you feel, but you are seeing what is attached to those entities and those trees. You can still talk to them from afar, the trees. If you look where the root line is, you can sit. I think it's about 3 to 4 like feet away, or inches, or however far you feel comfortable being near it. But sit on the root line and allow your Gaia cord to shoot down to that root and talk to the tree that way, so you're not too close to that entity, and see what the entity is. And what you can do then is you can go around and get place herbs or cleanse the tree with actual sage or santo, or however the tree will tell you how to get rid of that entity for it. A lot of people are going to be doing that now. That's why it's super important to pay attention to nature and the geometries, because it's time to heal nature. A lot of healers need to go out and heal nature. That's why we're put in certain locations. Again, it's like a ley line energy thing. It's all connected. So that gift that you're experiencing, allow yourself to connect to Gaia more. Go out in nature more. Connect barefoot. Ground yourself. There's shoes that you can get. That have like copper pins on the heel of them, and you wear those for like grounding as well. But there's a need to just I feel like you're really being called to go out there and heal nature. um you might I can't remember the terminology. Excuse me, dude. Like, that's the one thing I'm bad with is like terminology. I have to like refresh my brain so much with it. But there's a certain like witch category, which I'm gonna just call it that because all a witch is the feminine energy being able to push out. It's just a magical feminine energy is a witch, you know. Um, but work with Gaia. But that is that's what I'm kind of picking up. Is just a lot of balance. All in all, a shit ton of balance. Um, and maybe some people from the past coming back. I am getting a very strong pull to go help my friend though, real quick. So I'm gonna go do that. But thank you all for being here. I love you all so much. Again, okay, so the channeled book I wrote today, there is a deal going on. I don't know how long it's going on for. It's probably going to go on for forever. I don't really give a fuck about it, really. But this deal, this like deal that I have, this price thing, you can get all the books that I have. The book, I have two channeled books. I have the one I just wrote. Then I have another one. I have the book on self-love and duality. You can get all those for just $15 if you're wanting. And they're not necessarily like books. They're guidelines to help you through the spiritual journeys. If you're wanting that, you can email me or go into the description for that, and we can talk about that as well. It's also just kind of donation based as well. If you don't have 15, it doesn't matter. Donate your amount that you feel comfortable with. I genuinely don't care. These books are just to help people guide. And I'd rather just have like a donation base for them anyway. But if you wanted to pay a full price for 15, go for it. If not, you can pay whatever you feel comfortable paying. I don't give a fuck. I truly don't. It is for you to receive help. That's all I'm here to do. But if you're needing any of the other services I have, you know where to find them. If you're interested in intentional bracelets for whatever, you can hit up Otter Spirit because we're partnered with them over here. Regardless, thank you for the support. All the likes, comments, shares, and subscribes, donations, whether they are energetic or financial, I don't care. I appreciate them both wholly and fully, truly. And I love each and every one of you to the moon and back, tenfold and forever. I will see you later. Take care. Hydrate. Go out in nature. Meditate. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. And fuck the haters because you don't have any haters. You have lovers who are just obsessed with you. I love